Welcome to the Frisco Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Ellis, and this episode, we're sitting down with Ty Fawley to talk about the Frisco Fine Art Gallery. Ty, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
It's good to have you here. We've been needing more art in Frisco for a long time. The art scene is really picking up. There's a lot more happening now. We were super excited when the guys opened the Frisco Fine Art Gallery. It's a beautiful space. How did you come to be involved with them?
Well, they actually had a space in the mall, which was called Masterpiece Gallery, and I worked there part-time. I've been a part of the art environment in Frisco for about 6 years, and we've lived in Frisco for about 10, my wife and I. And one thing morphed into another when the space became available on Main Street in downtown. We looked at it and thought this would be a perfect spot, and we thought that the timing was very good. Mm-hmm. To have an art gallery and to bring that to the community. Obviously, being a resident of Frisco, it was near and dear to my heart, and the fact that I'm an artist as well, it just fit. So that's how we started rocking and rolling.
Well, as an artist, and given the duration of time that you have been involved in Frisco, or been living in Frisco, I should say, this is probably something you've been jonesing for a while.
Oh, absolutely. You read my mind.
Yeah.
We could just see a need. We thought the venue, again, it just seemed the planets aligned.
Yeah.
It just seemed that it was a good spot. The resurgence of downtown is just spectacular now.
Yeah.
And being a long-term resident and seeing what's happened in downtown and how it's transitioning right now. I mean, there was the groundbreaking for NAC development, the towers, just yesterday, and it's awesome. It's just terrific. So we want to be a part of the community and have the downtown area be a part of that resurgence, and we're thrilled to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's exciting, and it's definitely the kind of business we'd like to see happening in the rail district, which is what used to be called downtown. But
yeah.
And I know some of us are still getting used to that, but I'm forcing myself into the habit. And having that art scene and those things going on down there is going to be a huge opportunity, and it's a beautiful space. If people haven't been in there, it's I love the fact that it's kind of a big open room, but it's got a couple of side rooms for either breaking out different kinds of art or having classes or different things that you do there. So talk to us a little bit about the mission of the business, beyond just being a gallery, and then what are the types of things that you guys are doing beyond showcasing art that are playing into that mission?
Well, our mission is to be a part of the community, and I know that may sound trite, but we really do. Randy Jacobs, who's the gallery director, has actually just moved to Frisco, so he now resides in Frisco. So the two of us see that it's a very community-oriented environment, all the families, and it's growing, as we all know, in leaps and bounds. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've lived in the area for 30 years, actually in Richardson, and 30 years ago there were more cattle in Frisco than there were people. So it's just great to see. So there's a gallery 8680, which is awesome. Robin and Glenn are just, they're family to us. They're wonderful. But with the size of Frisco and the way it's growing, it just became apparent that we needed to do what we could to help promote the local arts and visual art.
Yeah.
And Tammy is amazing. I've known her for a few years, and everything it's syncing very well. I think it's all coming together. And I guess sinking maybe wasn't a good word, but
no, Frisco is doing anything but sinking right now.
That's
but no,
for
I know
sure.
Yeah, no.
So it's fun, but we want to promote the local artists. We want to promote the community. We want to make the space available for nonprofits, and we've been doing that. The Frisco Association for the Arts. The Melody of Hope, which is their Saturday for a fundraiser. We've had entities such as Cornbread Hustle, which...
I actually know Sherry and Susie.
Okay, yeah. Okay. We had an event there for them.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and...
Now I'm going to have to give Susie a hard time because I didn't even hear about that. That's right in my own backyard.
Boy, that was a big event. There were a lot of people there. It was really a lot of fun.
Yeah, just real quick, sorry, since we're going down that path, I don't want to leave our listeners out. Cornbread Hustle is a company that works with people that have gotten out of prison to take them down an entrepreneurial path and help them kind of get reestablished and get their own businesses up and running. And I'm probably not doing it anywhere near justice, but really neat work that they're doing and good stuff.
Yeah, it's terrific. That particular event, not to run down that rabbit hole too far, but there is an artist named Peace who, because he wouldn't be allowed to have brushes painted with his fingers, with his hands. And we have a couple of his pieces there.
Very good.
And he was featured during that event. So.
Okay, can you tell us which pieces those are? Can you describe them enough that if I came into the gallery, I might be able to find them on my own?
They're I guess you could say more of almost an impressionist type of art. You can see that it doesn't have really the brush strokes, obviously, but it's very crafted art with the hand, which you can't get any more intimate than that when you have a piece of art. So it's just beautiful stuff. He did one of Jimi Hendrix that actually sold that evening. I know it sold.
Okay.
But it had Jimmy with a red hat playing the guitar, and it was just stunning. So just an awesome piece.
Okay, so this is our challenge for everybody that's listening. Go into Frisco Fine Art Gallery when you've got some extra time. You want to go in one evening and check it out anyways if you haven't been there. See if you can find those paintings. See if you can figure out which ones they are on your own.
Now, Jimmy's not there anymore.
Jimmy's not there, so that's, no gimmies. But, okay, so anyway, so you guys have events there. It's a great space for that. Lots of neat things to look at. What are some of the other types of things that you have going on at the gallery?
We have events all the time. Just to, obviously, we want to introduce the gallery to people in the community, in the neighborhood. One of the things we just started is making wall space available to local artists. It's a very nominal fee because we have to pay the light bill too. But we do have a very favorable commission split on that. And it gives them an opportunity to display their art. One of the things I say, where is your art right now? Is it just in a closet, in a bedroom, in a storage shed? If it's in a storage facility, why not just pay the money to have it hanging in a gallery?
Sure.
With, we have Masters works, Dali, Chagall, Picasso. We have lithographs of those items, and you can hang your art right there. Plus, we have these events all the time where there's a lot of exposure.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense in that respect.
So that was going to be my next question. I think you've kind of answered it, but what is the opportunity for local artists? So one, it's, for a nominal fee, get some wall space, get your stuff up there, get it seen. Are there any other things you guys do around local artists or anything along those lines?
Well, I mean, we do have classes available for local artists. We also make, as we do the events, there's a chance to go in there and talk to folks, be a part of the conversation, and just get your name out there. Because it's, being an artist, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to just get your name out there. So what you have to do is get out there and talk to people. And I, for one, don't have a problem with that, obviously.
Yeah.
but that's important. So
I think a lot of artists tend, at least the stereotype, and I think there's some truth to this, have a tendency to be a little bit more introverted. They're probably not as outgoing. Because creating art is a very solitary experience much of the time, right?
Right.
So, you got to find ways of getting out there and getting your art in front of people, and this is a good way to do it.
Right.
How do you guys define local? So if I want to have my art at the Frisco Fine Art Gallery, is there a qualification on what becomes a local artist versus...
Well, we don't want to shut down, artists. We understand the struggle. We're looking for artists, obviously, in the Frisco area to give them a space. But Plano, McKinney, of course, Prosper now, Salina. Heck, we're going to be up in Oklahoma before long.
Yeah.
We don't really put parameters around it. The space that we've made available, we just made it available about 2 weeks ago. Better than half of it is now occupied. So it's open, it's available. Go to our website and you can sign up for it.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
And I love that you guys are doing that, because as people are moving into Frisco, which they're doing in droves,
Mm-hmm.
there's often a need for, a piece of art here, a piece of art there.
Right.
And everybody has different tastes, different styles. You guys kind of cover the gambit. I mean, there's a room that has some just beautiful, very traditional style.
Right.
I personally tend to gravitate towards that a little bit, although I do like modern art quite a bit as well.
Right.
But you guys have a big variety there. But it's kind of neat to be able to go in and find something that you really, really love that's also been done by somebody right in your own backyard.
Right. And my wife and I years ago, we love art. I've always been pushed towards that my entire life. And, there's budget considerations, but we made it a point to go from prints that you buy at Walmart to get some original art from original artists. And we migrated to that. Now we have a house full of them. And it's so much more meaningful to have art that's done by the artist. And in Frisco Fine Art Gallery, we have a range of prices. It ranges from $20 all the way up to, we have one piece is $46,000.
Wow.
But it's everything in between too. So, and there, as to your point, there's a variety of types of art. Whatever floats your boat. I mean, there's stuff in there that I'm not, I don't like it, but that's fine. I appreciate it.
Sure.
But there's a lot of stuff in there that I really do like, know, and that's the nice thing about it. There's a great variety there. But we also do commercial art as well, and we can arrange that for commercial entities to you look at their space, see what would work, give them some options, some choices, and it's very reasonable. So we want to work with folks and make sure that it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because there's so many businesses starting up and happening in Frisco as well.
Right.
Many of them also need art of some kind or want art of some kind. So definitely should look you guys up and
Absolutely.
get a consultation to figure out what's going to work best for them.
Absolutely.
And there's, as Ty was saying, there's a lot of variety, not only in terms of styles, but budgets. So you're going to find something that'll fit.
Right. But we also have, there's jewelry there. We have glass works, which are just beautiful. We have, we sell some purses from an artist out of Detroit named Dominic Pangborn.
Interesting.
And scarves, and it's a fun place to go to, but we want to make sure that people are aware of what we have in there, and just come on in. It's sculptures. There's just all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's art. It's not just paintings. I mean, we kind of think about that most of the time, but it's definitely more than that, and covers the gambit. So what other things do you guys have coming up? Are there exhibitions? Are there kind of interesting events or shows that people should be aware of?
Right. There's the big event that we have that we've just scheduled, signed a contract for, is to have Peter Max, the art of Peter Max, at the gallery. Actually, the hanging is on the 5th of October, and the reception is going to be the 13th and 14th of October.
Okay.
And this is, if you're not familiar with Peter Max, he is a pop artist who was just an iconic pop artist who was well known in the 60s. A matter of fact, he was on the cover of Life magazine. He has painted the hulls of cruise ships, a Princess Line cruise ship, airplanes. He actually painted, this is kind of a funny story, he painted Dale Earnhardt's race car. And this was Dale Sr.
Yeah. And
from what I understand, Dale wasn't too thrilled with that idea, but it was part of whatever marketing thing that they had going. He's friends with the Beatles. He knew them because they're from the same generation.
Interesting.
It's amazing how things morph, as you age. He just did a cover of AARP magazine, but he's painted for the U.S. Open. He did a stamp, a U.S. stamp.
Very cool.
Yeah,
What is his style? What if I'm looking at Peter Max? What am I going to?
Extremely colorful and does pop art. It's very bold colors. He has an interesting method of painting. He doesn't use a palette. What he has are about 40 jars of separate paint colors, and he puts a large, insulated board on top of it and locks it down. And when he's ready to paint, he just pops that board off and starts painting. So very bold colors, pop type art. He was influenced by Asian art. He was actually he's from Germany. He was born in Germany. I guess you can't say he was from there, but he was born there, and that was in 1937. And his family left there to escape the Nazis, and they moved to Shanghai, China, at that point. And I know Peter. I mean, he and I have talked over the years, and one thing he would talk about is a woman that didn't teach him to paint in the sense of particular technique, but she taught him how to view things and how to have your movement with your hand as you're performing, as you're doing the art, that there's a flow to it. And it was so interesting to see him talk about that, because he would start moving his hand and you're just looking at it like, this is so amazing. And this was when he was a young boy, and when he got older, he's very, very successful. He tried to find her, to thank her, and he could never quite find her.
Never could find her again. So
is
he going to be at the reception?
No, he won't be that. Peter is going on 81.
Yeah. He's
out of New York, and he used to travel constantly. He just can't. He just can't do it at this point. So it's a disappointment. But I certainly do understand it. But he still actively paints, so he's pretty automatic with it. So
I'm sure probably something he'll do right up until the day he dies.
Well, one of the neat things about him coming to Frisco is that now the company that we're working with, it actually they sponsor Peter Max as well as other well-known artists. But they told us that Peter plans on painting a football helmet for each of the high school football teams.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Isn't that cool?
Are those going to be at the...
Yeah.
Okay, so that alone is reason to be there. That's really something special.
Yeah, it's going to be neat. And he does a lot of things like that. I mean, you'll see art that has the Texas flag, that, probably downtown Dallas. I don't know. Maybe he'll do a water tower. I have no idea. But
maybe we can put a bug in his ear about that.
Yeah, I might throw that suggestion out. We'll see what happens. But it's just extremely exciting. People that are Peter Max fans and know Peter Max, they know his art instantly. Yeah. I mean, when I first saw his art after decades, I knew it was him immediately, and that was the weird thing. It was just like
very identifiable,
very
distinct,
very.
And is his art going to be for sale?
Oh yeah,
as well. Okay,
so
this isn't just a showing. Like, you can come buy stuff if you like.
Oh sure, yeah. The hanging, it'll begin on the 5th of October, and the actual reception will be the 13th and 14th, which is Saturday and Sunday in October. And the company that sponsors this, that we're working with, they offer financing depending on the level of purchase. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I cannot tell you how excited I am that he's going to be here. Because
and is the reception open to the public? Can anybody come? Do they need to buy tickets?
No tickets. Just come on in.
Come on in and see it. Yeah. Is there going to be a proper party event, anything around that? Or
well, the reception over the weekend is one big party.
Okay, just one big party. Okay.
So, but I'm getting more.
I have a thing or two to learn about how these things work. Clearly,
well, it's we're artists. It's very low key. Just have fun. Have a glass of wine. You're good.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun. And when folks come in, I mean, there's if they've never seen Peter Max, I would dare say that they're going to go, oh, this looks familiar.
Yeah.
So
okay, well, we'll definitely look forward to that, and we'll make sure that we get continue to push the word out so everybody knows that's coming up, and be a great chance to come in, and if they haven't been in, come in and see the gallery, and if they have, it's time for another visit.
There you go. I mean, it's fun. It'll be fun.
Are you there normally at any given time if somebody comes in? Are they likely to find you?
I'm the not so silent partner.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, Randy Jacobs is actually the gallery manager. He's there the vast majority of time.
Okay.
And one of our folks named Blaze is there, and then Jimmy Smith, who was actually the founder of the gallery years ago, is in there periodically. So,
Okay.
but I go to the events, put my FaceTime in.
What is your style of art? You're an artist as well, so what do you do?
I mainly do acrylics, but I do watercolors as well. My subject matter is generally landscapes, florals. I will also do abstract art. It's kind of whatever floats my boat at the time that I'm in front of the canvas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting. Sometimes I have a concept of what I want to do. My wife comments on this, that I'll start, let's say, a floral, and she'll come in and look at it and go, oh, yeah, that's interesting. And then for some reason I think, okay, I just don't like that, so I'll do something else. It'll morph from a floral to an abstract.
Yeah.
I tell students that I say, one thing students they're always nervous about making a mistake, and I tell them you cannot make a mistake.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong here.
And if you make enough mistakes, it's an abstract, so don't worry about it. So
that's a quote. That's one to remember. I love it.
It's okay, but and I started doing watercolors because my wife liked watercolors, and some folks think that that's my best. Do you have any of your art hanging up in the gallery? Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I have a few pieces.
Something else to look out for when we come in.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. It'll be there. Yeah.
All right, Ty. We got to start wrapping it up, unfortunately.
Okay.
But how do people find you guys online? What are the best places for them to go if they want to learn more, if they want to find out about events, so on and so forth?
Well, we're on. Obviously, we're on Facebook. It's Frisco Fine Art, and it's friscofineart.com on the website.
Mm-hmm.
If you come into the gallery. And even if you just go to the website, just give us your email address, and we'll put you on our mailing list so you'll be aware of the events that come up periodically. And we do try to have a lot of events, and it's a dual purpose. We think it's good for the community to have an option for some event or something to come in and have a glass of wine and take a look around, whatever. And it's good for us to have the exposure. So
absolutely.
Please come visit us. If you see something you like, pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
yeah,
maybe that's not politically correct, but anyway, I said it.
We've had a couple of those in this show, but that's okay.
Yeah.
No, well done. Thank you so much for coming on today, and love what you guys have going on at the gallery. Keep up the good work. As you mentioned, people can find you online at friscofineart.com and on Facebook. It is Frisco Fine Art on Facebook. Are you guys on Instagram or anywhere else?
We're migrating into that.
Okay.
So
okay. Well, we're gonna nudge you into the Instagram. You guys are so visual that's a perfect mode for you as well.
Okay.
But in the meantime, keep up the good work. Thanks.
Thank you.
And we'll link all this stuff up in the show notes so that you guys can find everything very easily. And you're also going to make sure, if you are not on the Lifestyle Frisco newsletter, please go subscribe. Just hit the website. There'll be a little pop-up. Put in your email address, because all of the Frisco Fine Art events are going to be in our Monday This Week in Frisco, if there's anything going on that week. So you're going to find it there as well. Make sure you don't miss out.
Awesome.
And thanks again for tuning in. We'll talk to you next time.
You're listening to RMCN, the digital destination for premium talk radio.